Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey and Spencer Hughes on the Daybreak Show. Happy to have in studio via Zoom video conference. It's Lynn Eaton, Communications and Government Relations Manager for Mason County PUD number 3. Hey, Lynn, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Jeff?
I'm good. You know, last week you sent out this press release here on 41 straight years of consecutive clean bills of health from the Washington State Auditor's Office. And, you know, I've reported on this, every year for as long as I can remember, obviously. But for whatever reason, this one just stuck in my head thinking 41 years
Isn't that
of
incredible?
something is just incredible.
I
And I was
agree.
talking to Spencer about it yesterday or last week, and it's like it's amazing because, and I could be wrong, but I'm assuming the same person has not been doing this for 41 years. You
Right.
have built in to the finance team some sort of a great culture here, and I
That's
think
exactly it.
businesses all over want to know the secret. So let's talk about it.
Okay. I think that's exactly it. We definitely have a culture at the PUD, and to hear Annette, who is our general manager now, she was our finance manager for 15 years. So a lot of the policies and internal controls that are in place were things that she started, and our finance team now has also built on those. But I remember starting with the PUD 11 years ago, and it is a culture. Everybody just feels this responsibility to be good stewards of the public's money and assets, and it's ingrained in you from the day you start that we have a huge responsibility to our community, to our ratepayers, to keep so I think just that, coupled with these great policies and internal controls, just really creates this formula for making it very easy for the auditor to see that our financial reporting is done fairly, it's open, it's transparent, and it's incredible, though, to think for 41 years that any organization can pull that off. But it doesn't surprise me every year we get it. So.
Talk to me a little bit about what goes into the audit, both from what the finance team prepares and then when the auditor's office from the state comes in to look at.
Well, fortunately, we have a couple of employees. Our internal auditor and Annette also both worked for the state audit office before, so they really know what the auditor is looking for. And so I had a conversation with Brian, who's our internal auditor, yesterday, because I'm not part of that, so I don't know all the ins and outs. But his response was, they don't obviously can't look through everything, right? So they're really taking a look at they're looking at it in two different areas: your financial reporting, and then sort of your what is the other word, the kind of how you follow your policies.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so he says they'll take some snippets of things just to double check all the numbers match what you're reporting, and they'll look at how what you do follows your policies, and it's different every year. They pick different things to look at every year. So
you don't have any, I guess, kind of built-in goodwill. The first audit 41 years ago is just as rigorous as this one you just completed.
absolutely. And sometimes we'll have the same auditor who may follow us for a couple years, but I don't know that we've had one that is, we don't have one that comes the same every single year. So it's nice when we have somebody who's worked with us prior years, just because they know who to talk to and that process. But yeah, it's different every year, and they're tough.
How does what the finance team do? And we talked about the culture, but then kind of dip into the other departments around PUD. Is it the same? Is it similar? I mean, we hear all the great awards that you guys get, the communications awards and things like that. And I guess, is it come from the commissioners down, or commissioners and Annette, or it's just
Absolutely. Yeah.
fascinating that the PUD, a public district here, seems to be so well run.
Yeah. There's just an expectation of excellence I wouldn't say that we're definitely not micromanaged. It's just very much an expectation of excellence, and that's at every level. And everybody that works for the PUD feels that. Our crews feel that when they're out doing their jobs. Our customer service reps feel that. Every single department feels that expectation of excellence. And speaking to the awards that we've received, we don't do that to really pat ourselves on the back. What we do, the reason that we do apply for awards is to benchmark ourselves against other utilities, other industries, and just make sure that what we're doing is the absolute best that we could be doing. And we are constantly doing that benchmarking, trying to figure out, are there better ways for us to do what we do?
It seems like when you hear and read on the most successful businesses, a lot of their models are they take direction from the ground up, not necessarily from the top down. Is that the same with PUD, where even the day one lineman installer, if they're able to see some tweak that they go, we may be a little more efficient in this section, it's able to go up the chain, perhaps be implemented, and there's no sort of animosity or say, well, you're new, you're not supposed to be talking like this.
Right. Yeah. No, it definitely, that's part of that excellence model. And we implemented a program a few years ago that peers can, and managers and supervisors can nominate each other for something that they did that is a process improvement, or um, a money saving measure, or something else. And that goes through kind of a process of, is this an excellent initiative? And that gets recognized. So it's definitely encouraged for people to constantly be looking at their work and saying, how can I do this better? For sure.
PUD3 is online at pud3.org, where you can find the links to the different show notes, including this article on 41 straight years of clean audits. We'll put the links to that in the show notes, rather, but you can find them too on Facebook and all across social media with great information. And again, a reminder, though, because of coronavirus, PUD3 offices will remain closed for the foreseeable future. Seems like people have really been able to use those payment kiosks pretty well.
Yeah, the timing of getting those installed really worked out for us. We had the one installed downtown Shelton
Yeah.
before we closed our offices, but we added another one up in Belfair, and we're seeing lots of traffic and increased traffic at those. And we continue to try to look for ways that will be easier for customers to do business with us while our offices are closed. But we definitely want to be available for our customers while keeping employees safe and our essential staff safe, and customers.
Lynn Eaton is the Communications and Government Relations Manager for PUD3 here on the air with us this morning. Good to talk with you. Good to see you. And
You too,
be
Jeff.
safe, be well,
Thank
and
you.
we'll check in again real soon.
All right, thanks.